Hi everyone, welcome to another TMI Tuesday. I want to say thanks to everyone who wished me or sent me get well wishes. I do appreciate it. I was sick there for quite a few days. I guess in my last video that I did, I was actually trying to fight everything off, myself. I finally went to the doctor this past Thursday. I had a respiratory infection. I still have a little bit of a cough left, but other than that, I'm doing a lot better than I was. But I do appreciate everyone that sent me a message. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get to the questions, I guess. My own little planet asked me if I've ever been abroad, and if yes, where have I been, and do I plan on visiting any other countries? No, never been off the continent of North America. I have been to Canada. I've been to Toronto and Montreal. Driven around some into other little areas around there, but those are the major cities that I've been to in Canada. I would love to travel abroad. I'd love to go to Europe. I'd love to see, Spain and France, and I'd love to go to Italy. The one place in the world I really want to go, though, sort of a bucket list type thing, is Egypt. I've never been. I've always been fascinated with Egypt, and it's something I'd like to do. I definitely would love to go to Egypt at some point. Next question was Dragon in the Shadow, was from Dragon in the Shadow, and actually I had a similar question from Brycelwyn, and they asked me what happened to my juice diet. I had a separate blog that I was keeping for a while called Juicy Puck, and I juiced every day, and I did it for probably about a month, and I actually ended up losing about 18 pounds doing the juice diet. I'm still have kept all the pounds off. I haven't done it anymore, although I do need to get back into it. Juicing was incredibly easy. The first 3 days were very difficult. Lots of headaches and just generally wanting to eat. What I ended up doing was I would juice for 2 meals a day. So I would juice for breakfast and lunch. And then at dinner, I would go eat something small, like if I'd go have like maybe a sandwich at Subway, but I wouldn't get like a meatball sub, I'd get like, one of the low fat ones. So I'd do things like that. I did it for like a month. And like I said, I lost about 18 pounds. So, right now I'm, right around 270. So, I was up in the 290s actually, when I first started. So it did a lot of good. It did a lot of good. It felt a lot better. I want to get back on it because I'd like to lose some more weight. But the thing is that you don't want to do it too much because you can sort of plateau. So I'm hoping that the fact that I've been able to maintain the weight more or less, it's kind of fluctuates a little bit, that maybe, doing the juice diet again will help. But I did it for like a month. And it's tough because, the first 3 days are just hard to think about because you're like, oh God, I've got to go through all the headaches again. I've got to go through the diarrhea again, because that stuff cleans you out. Just nothing but liquid, pretty much. So it'd be, an entire 24-hour period that I wouldn't eat. So, I'd have something like at 8 o'clock one night, and then I wouldn't have anything to eat again until 8 o'clock the next night. So it was basically a 24-hour, a day thing. I would juice for 24 hours, drink water, whatever. But it cleans you out very good. So hopefully I'll get back onto it, maybe lose a few more pounds. I don't want to ever get skinny or anything like that, but there is a history of heart disease and things like that in my family. So I want to make sure that, I keep myself as healthy as possible. Before it's, too late, obviously. Irvy Cub asked, or rather stated that, you mentioned that you're a big Whitney Houston fan. What are your favorite songs of hers? And, his were, Didn't We Almost Have It All, and her live rendition of The Greatest Love of All at the Radio City Music Hall back in the 80s. And, also added, by the way, your singing of A Whole New World last week was really cute. Thanks for that. Well, actually, it wasn't A Whole New World. It was the, gotta keep one jump ahead of the law, man. One swing ahead of the sword. That one. But anyway, thank you. I do appreciate it. Back to your question. My favorite Whitney Houston song, I'd probably say is I Want to Dance with Somebody. That's the first song that I really remember, as a kid, really loving. I really love that song. I love the video. I didn't get to see MTV very much, but, whenever I did see that video, it was like, oh my God, it was so cool, I thought, and I loved it. So that was probably my favorite Whitney Houston song ever. But really, she couldn't do any wrong. All of her songs were excellent, back in the 80s and early 90s, and of course, I Will Always Love You. I was familiar with the Dolly Parton version before Whitney Houston did it, and but Whitney, took a song that wasn't hers and made it hers, which was excellent. Love that song. But I'm not going to be singing anything this week. Last question was from, I'm not sure how to say this, it's MSCH Worm, and asked me, how are you on the Food Network? Yeah, I was on the Food Network for a couple of seconds the other night, and apparently lots and lots of people saw it because I got messages, I got tweets, I got Facebook posts on it. People actually text messaging me or instant messaging me, like through Growler or Scruff or one of those apps, saying, hey, was that you I just saw on the Food Network? Like, I had no idea that you could even tell it was me, given that it was so quick. But yeah, Devin and I, this past summer, he had heard from, I guess, one of his Facebook friends or Tumblr friends or whatever, Babalu, who's on the Food Network show, with the Papa Waffle truck, that they were coming to town and wanted us to, come out and, support them or whatever. So yeah, Devin told me about it. We went out there, had some good chicken and waffles, and there's actually, I guess, one of the images of me actually eating something, I think, off of Devin's plate. I don't remember what he had. I think he got something else that the rest of us didn't. And then of me actually ordering my food, or actually getting my food. But yeah, it was kind of cool. I've been on television before, but not like national television like that, where everybody saw me, and it was, I don't know, it was kind of crazy. I didn't know how many people watched that show and how many of the people that would actually message me about it. But yeah, I was on the Food Network, and, we were just happened to be down there that day, and they were shooting. But to be honest with you, I don't ever remember seeing the camera. I kind of actually wondered where the cameras were. So I don't remember seeing the camera at all, and of course it was right up in my face, so I had to see it at some point, but I just didn't remember them even. I didn't even think we'd be on there because they were having people sign, waivers and stuff, and they were talking to people like producers of the show. But I don't ever remember seeing the camera on me, so I was very, very surprised to see it. Devin was actually the one that pointed it out. He was like, oh my God, there we are! And then it was like, oh my God, there you are! So... But yeah, it was fun. It was fun seeing myself on television. But yeah, so that's kind of, I guess, how it happened. Well, that's it for questions this week, guys. If you need anything else, if you have any other questions, or have the need to ask me anything, feel free to submit something to my Ask box, and I'll try to answer it as soon as I can. Okay? All right, well, thanks, guys. Hope you all have a good week. Talk to you soon.